Hello and welcome to today's English lesson. We're going to be looking today at different types of word classes, and we're going to be looking at a familiar text, and we're going to be identifying them within that text. So really quick recap of the word classes and the colours that we would use at Driffield Junior School. So we've got nouns, which are going to be red, adjectives in green, verbs in blue, and an adverb in a nice purple colour. So starting off with a noun is a thing. It's something that you can touch, it's something you can feel, smell, taste. So your examples would be a chair, a dog, a classroom, a window, an elephant, a spear, all those sorts of things. It's anything that is physically there for today's lesson. So we can also have proper nouns as well, which can be the names of specific people or places. So Bob, Dave, Kevin, Driffield. Those, of course, are proper nouns, so would need a capital letter. So that's always a good way to spot them as well. But a noun in a sentence, when we're looking for it, is always the thing. An adjective is a word that we would colour in green, and it's a word that describes a noun. So it adds something to the noun, it adds description of that noun. So we could say that it's pretty, we could say it's beautiful, we could say it's old, we could say it's tall, we could say it's powerful. So you start putting them together. We could say we've got a pretty elephant, or an old window, or a beautiful classroom, or a powerful dog. So we've got a noun and an adjective. Good way to find an adjective in a sentence is look for the noun first, and then look for the word that is doing the job describing the noun. That's usually your adjective. Next on the list, we've got verbs in blue. Now, verbs are actions. When you're in infant school or younger, they may call it a doing word, but it's an action. So it's the verb is what is happening in the sentence. Now, this can change tense. This is where things can get a little bit trickier because it'll be things that are happening right now, things that have happened, or things that will happen. But generally, look for the action in a sentence. What is happening? Run, might be running, might be ran, could be kick, could be kicked, could be kicking, depending when it's happened. Climb, climbing, climbed, walk, walking, walked. So look for the action in that sentence to find a verb. So we've got nouns, the thing, an adjective, which then would be describing the thing, describing the noun. We've got a verb, which is the action. Now, I've paired these up quite carefully because in purple we have the adverb, which is the final part of the words we're looking at today. An adverb is a word that describes how a verb happens. So in a way that the adjective adds description to the noun, the adverb is adding description to the verb. So it's telling us how it happened. So was it swiftly? Swiftly he ran, slowly he walked, angrily he kicked, and hungrily she climbed. So we're looking for adverbs which add to the verb. They're giving us more information about the verb. Keep your eye out for them. So again, the trick, just like we had with adjectives and nouns, we look for the noun and then we can look for the adjective that is describing the noun. With adverbs, look for the verb and then look for the word in that sentence that is describing the verb and how it happens. Not all sentences will have an adverb. All sentences will have a verb. So look for the verbs and nouns first, then you can look for the way they're being described to give yourself more information. So with that in mind, let's have a look at our task for today. Your task is a familiar piece of text. You are going to be looking at the first chapter of The Girl Who Stole an Elephant. So you're going to get a screen just like this. You're going to get your own Google Doc, it'll become your own version. I've got the reminder of the instructions up at the top here, telling you to use the colour coding to identify nouns, verb, adjectives and adverbs. And all you have to do is go through the chapter, swipe over the words to select them, then use the highlighter tool, which is just up here at the top, to change them to the correct colour. So I'm going to start it off, and we've got Chaya looked at the bronze spear pointing at her neck. So I'm going to start off by looking for a noun in that sentence. So what's the things I've got in that sentence? Well, there's quite a few, but I'm going to start off with the spear because that's obviously one. So I've clicked, I've swiped over the word spear. Now I've decided that's a noun, it's a thing they can hold. They're obviously holding onto it. So I'm going to click on the highlighter tool, and because it's a noun, I'm going to make it red. All right, following my own advice, I can now look for any words that are describing that noun, so adding information to that noun. And I think that the word bronze does that. So if it's adding information, it's describing my noun for me. It's going to be an adjective, so I'll swipe over that. And adjectives are green, so I'll go back up to my highlighter tool and select green. Your task today is to work through the rest of this document and colour coding the way through it. Not every word will be highlighted, but there should be mostly the nouns, the verbs, the adjectives, and the adverbs. If you get through all that, there's a task at the bottom where you pick 5 words from the passage, write them out below, and give a definition of what they mean. There's a couple of funny ones in there like promenade and bronze and linen that you might want to pick up a description of. You may want to research. That's your task. Submit at the end. Have fun with it.